What's going on, Raider Nation? It's your boy Mikey Raider here for my post-game aftermath live Raider football talk. First off, I want to say please hit that thumbs up, that subscribe, that like button. Consider becoming a member of this channel to support me, your boy, in everything I do, and it'll give me the encouragement to go live more often than not. That being said, I do have memberships available. I do have Super Chat available during the show. That also supports me as well. And please comment in the chat room. Let's get the chat room going. Let's get the chat room going lit. Let's talk about everything and let's try to have a good time post another debacle for the Raiders. We got an interesting show today. We're going to go over the statistics from the game. We're going to look at my tweets from the game. Instead of going live, I decided to tweet from my bed. We're also going to read some of my notes. I got some good notes from the game, and they might open up a lot of eyes for a lot of people. And we're also going to have a fan chat a little bit later. And then we're going to watch the post-game press conference from Josh McDaniels. We're going to expose the lies live, the BS live. We're also going to watch Davante Adams basically predicting the future of he might want out of Vegas. And there may be a scenario in which we didn't think it could happen. There may be a trade in the middle of the season, or he'll definitely want out next year if possibly McDaniels is the head coach. We're going to get into that and more on today's Raider Football Talk. That being said, I love you guys. Let me get into the comments and let me say hello to the people that are online early. We got True Raider, Cuban Raider, my boy Frost, and Art White saying hello in the chat room. We also got Mr. Minimoto. Love that name. Love it. And we got Froggy V saying hello. I know you guys are expecting a rant and a lot of anger from me because I'm a very salty, angry Raider fan nowadays. But that's why I don't go live during the game, because I need the money. I need the support. I need the views. I need the clicks. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't go live because I have a heart attack. My anxiety, my blood pressure, everything boils with everything the Raiders nowadays. And that's why I don't go live. It is partially technology oriented, but for the most part, I could put together my phone and do all that other stuff and go live. But I can't go live because I have a heart attack. Even in the post game reviews, the last 2 or 3 of them I haven't done live. Why? Because if I go live, my anxiety, my blood boils, and it's not good for my health. I have some heart problems. I have some other issues going on, and it's really bad for me. And when I go live, I tend to be on live for 2 or 3 hours. Then my anxiety keeps going. Then my blood pressure also boils, and it becomes like hard work for me. But I felt the need to go live today. But I'm gonna try my best to use my therapy. I'm gonna try my best to not go on tangents, to try to be semi-intelligent, semi-positive. But I'm going to speak the truth like I've always done. But hopefully I'm going to speak it intelligently and subtly to where many of you understand it and you will appreciate my persona more so than the yelling, ranting, always seemingly negative Mikey Raider. I'm doing this for my health. And I hope y'all understand. You're probably going to get a rant in the middle of the show. hopefully some jokes, but more importantly, y'all are going to realize I'm a real Raider fan. Always have been. I'm a true damn Raider. And for all the people that, want to talk crap about me or whatever, I hope you change your mind. I hope y'all see the light. The third eye is opened up. I don't want to be right about being negative about the Raiders. I don't want to be right. What's that song? If loving the Raiders was right. Sorry. If loving the Raiders is wrong, I don't want to be right. If being without a Super Bowl victory means I'm going to be alone tonight. I don't want to be right. I usually am. But I don't want to be right about this Raiders team and the previous teams. I want everybody on the Raiders to win, everybody to be successful. So when I critique them, it's not hatred. And again, I shouldn't critique people because then they critique me and then I get insecure. But hey, it's a living. Michael F. is online. BAL is online. And True Raider said, save the freestyle raps for a victory. Thank you very much. I actually was thinking about rapping. I have a song that I worked on many years ago that goes, it's kind of like a negative type song, an emo song, and I wanted to play it and rap about this year's team, but I decided not to. It's called There Is No Heart. The song is called There Is No Heart that I was working on many moons ago. And we don't have no heart on this team. And again, people are going to get mad at me for naming the quarterback that shall not be named. Speedy recovery for him. But he was the heart of the team. Doesn't mean he was a good player. Doesn't mean he was the best player. He was the heart of the team. He's a good human being. He tried to do his best. But he was the heart. And then a heart has valves. And those valves are in players like Darren Waller. In order for the heart to pump, you have to have valves. And those valves were like Darren Waller, Davante Adams, Josh Jacobs, Hunter Renfro, McDaniels, for whatever reason, fed the heart blood, pumped up the heart, and then ripped it out from the team. Then he expected everybody to be, hey, it's good. Take away the heart. Take away the heart. We need a replacement heart. The heart wasn't functioning too good. Get rid of it. Now what do we have in the locker room? I don't think we have a family. They're saying we do. There's lies, non-transparency. The organization is making these moves that we don't understand. They don't tell us the truth. Everybody is mad. Again, why? Because you got rid of the heart. Our blood is not pumping properly. It was Raider blood before, at least with the quarterback that shall not be named. It was Raider blood. Didn't work all the time. Didn't get as many victories as they should have. Wasn't the greatest working heart. But it was a Raider heart. Now we've replaced it with mechanical hearts. Computer hearts, AI hearts, Patriot hearts. And now the valves that are clinging on to that heart and trying to make it work are slowly getting clogged. Everything on this Raider team stinks. And again, I'm not trying to be right, but I told y'all so. If you're a Raider, you got to build from within. You got to keep people on the team with heart, and you got to build the team that way. You can't go to snakes and people that have not proved it. We lost our heart, guys. And Davante's doing his best. And Max Crosby was an addition to the heart and the valves that I talked about earlier. So Max Crosby and Davante Adams are trying to be the heart, but their valves are being clogged by bullshit. You would hope that the coach would be the heart in replacement. The coach is not even a heart. The coach is an anus. He's an anus. All right, Westside Media, what's up, everybody? Critiques online, Izzy? I don't know. But I love you. Oh, there he is. Way to critique. What's up, brother? Love you. All right, let's look at the stats. Let's look at some of Mikey's notes. And let's get this started. Thanks for being a part of the stream. Hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. And let's try to calm down from this debacle and find some sort of silver lining at the end of the tunnel. But we're going to reveal the lies, the bullshit. We're going to watch it. We're going to let it in. We're going to yell. We're going to rant, hopefully positively or as simple as possible. Then we're going to move on. We're going to move on. This is therapy. All right, let's see if I can figure out this technology, get the stats on the screen. And if my technology is not working as great as possible, please forgive me. I don't have the best computer, and it's pretty old. All right, let's see if I can get me on screen and the stats as well. Maybe in a big button or how a little bit bigger. There we go. The Raiders losing a heartbreaker, 23-18. Wasn't even that close. Too many mistakes in this dang game, to be quite honest with you. But let's just look at overall the stat breakdown. The Steelers had 17 first downs. The Raiders had 19 first downs. Steelers had 10 rushing first downs. We had 12. We had 3 first down from penalties, and they were in the red zone. Fourth down efficiency, we were 1 out of 2, 50%. Total plays, we outplayed them 67-60. We had 362 yards, and they had 333. I don't have to give you guys play-by-play, but yeah, I'm doing my best. Yards per play, we were pretty much average, and they were one of the worst. They were, if not the bottom or the worst offensive team coming into the league this year. Passing. Kenny Pickett apparently had 228. Jimmy Garoppolo close to 300. Completion, 16 for 28. They made him look good. 28 for 44 for Jimmy G. Interception through 3 bad interceptions. We can get into all that later. Sacks, he was sacked 4 times for 31 yards. And the Raiders apparently, until this game, have not given up a sack this season. Okay. Penalties. Well, Raiders are always up there in penalties. We took a break last week, but we had 7 for 60. And time of possession was pretty much even. And let's just be honest with you guys. The stats make the game look closer than it truly was. For everybody that watched this game, we know the truth of how bad this game was, and to even have a chance to tie it in the end was ridiculous. This team is better than that, but clearly they're not. Thank you for Randy Harrington for the donations. Keep plugging, man. Plugging up that anus that we talked about in the coach. There's hope. I love you, brother, and I appreciate you, brother. All right, guys. I don't want to look at these stats. These stats are ridiculous to me. And we'll get into these tweets in a minute. Let me see if I can figure out a way to bring up my notes. We're going to have Mikey's notes. That's right. While I was watching the game, I had some damn notes. And I have unique thoughts. I have unique thoughts about everything. Sometimes you guys like them. Sometimes you don't. People tell me to STFU. People also with the Raiders, they BTB. They buy the bullshit. I tell them SBTB. Stop buying the bullshit. Because that's what we're being sold. After this game, even people that were on the Josh McDaniels train, choo-choo, are starting to go, huh? Maybe Mikey Raider and Raider Honcho and a lot of these people are right. I don't know. But the tide is changing. But again, some people like me, many of you as well, we don't get blinded by the lights. I became a conspiracy theorist in 2008. My mind opened up like the Matrix. And I couldn't see anything the same way. I started seeing all the lies from anybody, anything, from the news, from the media. And I couldn't stop seeing it. Basically, my life went toward a negative area, but I see it. I feel it. I know it. I read into it. And I can typically, at most times, tell the truth of what's going on. So I wrote down some notes from my perspective. These are going to be Mikey's observations. All right, let's see if I can get it on screen. My writing is not correct. They're not going to look good. I'm doing it on, I have fat fingers, got a small iPhone. But this is kind of like the game summary in turn. Observations from me. All right, let me see how to do this. Let me stop the screen. Let me present and share this notes screen. And let's see if I can do this. All right. These are the notes from the beginning of the game to the end of the game from my perspective. Just simple things I've noticed. Let's call them untold storylines. You know, because I have a different mind. I'm not a bad sheep like many of you. But many of you are on the same path with me. So I love you for it. And I'm not trying to disrespect Raider fans and anything. I'm just saying. DBAS. Okay? Don't be a sheep. Follow your own path. Whether the mainstream likes it or not, follow your own path. Here we go. In the pregame, I was watching it. Every expert picked the Steelers to win. I believe the Raiders were favorites, plus or -3. I think that means they're favorites by 3. Every expert picked the Steelers except Chris Collinsworth. That pissed me off because I even picked the Raiders, but I picked the Raiders in a close game. And I also thought we could lose very easily. And then they showed Mark Davis giving the ring to Kendra Rose Stabler, the Hall of Fame ring. That was a beautiful sight to see. Kendra Rose Stabler holds nothing back. She is a true Raiderette in any sense of the word, the daughter of Kem Stabler receiving the ring. They showed Mark Davis, and he had a different haircut. That's right. Everybody makes fun of him in the bowl cut. I wish I had the picture on screen, but I didn't put in that much work. He had a different haircut. He's got a hairstylist that makes it look like a non-bowl cut now. They cut it a different way to where it doesn't look like a bowl cut, because I guarantee you Mark Davis is tired of being made fun of for his haircut. And I saw that next to Kendra Rose Stabler. Randy Harrington hooking me up, brother, buying me a taco or two. Smoking mirrors. Let's sell them what they want. That's exactly what they're doing. And again, we're going to, by the end of the show, we're going to have some views of if this is rebuilding, if this is sabotage, or what the heck this really is. Thank you, Randy Harrington. Then I was watching the fantasy football red zone earlier in the day for my fantasy football team. And, you know, Travis Kelce's dating Taylor Swift. So at their game, they had Taylor Swift to promote their team. We don't need no promoting. We're a home team. It's the home opener. We don't need no promoting. None of our players need to date Taylor Swift. Well, she's going to mess Travis Kelce up. Just like that song says, oh, here she comes. Watch out, boys. She'll mess you up. Oh, here she comes. Taylor Swift, she's a man-eater. She's going to mess him up. But now all the eyes of the world are on Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, and the Chiefs. But we got the home opener on Sunday Night Football. We got Jimmy Garoppolo. We got Josh McDaniels. We got Davante Adams. It's the home opener. It's the legacy-type Raider game versus the Steelers. Yeah, we're going to blow up. Who comes out and lights our torch? Hi, guys. I'm Mike Tyson. Hey, I'm Mike Tyson. We're gonna mess them up. We're going to mess up the Steelers. We're going to mess up the Steelers, y'all. This Raider Nation for life. Mike Tyson, I'm here. Okay. Why didn't you make Kendra Rose Stabler light the torch? You gave her the Hall of Fame ring. Was that not enough? For her father. Mike Tyson is just a promotion tool. I guess we knew the game would be a fight. And it was a knockout punch. Not by us. Hi, guys. I'm Mike Tyson. Welcome to Allegiant Stadium. Go Raiders. Then, I was thinking this was going to be a home Raider game. I mean, you would think it would be a home Raider game. It's at Allegiant Stadium. It is our home turf. It's in Las Vegas. Well, the critics are right. It became a Steeler game. Well, the excuse is the Steelers travel well. The Steelers travel well. That should never be an excuse at a home game. Never, ever, 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 ever. Did they say that when the Raiders were in Oakland? The Steelers travel well. The 49ers travel well. Did they say that when they were in LA? Maybe before the Raiders left LA, yes. That excuse is nonsensical to me. I don't care if the destination is Vegas. The worst excuse ever. What do we have of a legacy if we can't even build a winning culture at our home stadium? Somebody needs to look into this, but we probably win more on the road ever since we moved to Vegas. The Charger game in LA is a home game for the Raiders. LA got the wrong team in LA. But Vegas is fun. Vegas separates all the separates all the losing, the badness, and all that, and puts a spotlight on entertainment and all that because we keep losing so much over here, and we're a clown show that hey, don't worry, the Raiders lost. Go get some beer. It's free alcohol as long as you gamble. I paid $2,000-$3,000 for tickets to go to the game, for hotels, for travel. We lost. Who cares? I can go watch a show. They got the big ball that U2 is going to perform in very soon. Smoke and mirrors, like Randy Harrington said. What the heck is the Raiders' legacy, if there is anything now? And are we building one? No. Then, when they showed the starting lineup on television, you know how they say, I'm Demarius James, wide receiver, Ohio State. I'm the quarterback that shall not be named, Fresno State Bulldog. You know how they show that? Almost with every team, we get 3 wide receivers, a tight end, then the offensive line, the quarterback, the running back, blah, blah, blah. Well, the starting offense that was presented on TV explained the entire Raiders as a whole. They showed Jimmy Garoppolo, Josh Jacobs, then it went Davante Adams, then it went Jacoby Myers, then I was waiting to hear Hunter Renfro, then it went Michael Mayer. I'm like, okay, tight end. Then it went Austin Hooper. They announced 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends as their starting lineup. That's what Josh McDaniels' system is. That makes the scheme predictable. And the reason I have an issue with that, it worked in New England when they targeted the tight ends. We can't even run the ball. Most teams add a fullback to run the ball better. Do we have a fullback? We do, Jakob Johnson. He doesn't play much. But most teams put in 2 tight ends. If that's their starting offense, that means they want to establish the run. So the 2 tight ends are there to hopefully at times be offensive linemen that block better for the running back. Then, of course, the occasional tight end will go out and they don't know which tight end is going to be open for a pass, blah, blah, blah. That scheme can work. They're adding possibly 2 offensive linemen to help the run game in that tight package with only 2 wide receivers. And if there's only 2 wide receivers, everybody else is going to be close on the defensive side of the ball. But we added 2 extra tight ends or an extra tight end, so they become blockers. And we still can't run the ball. Then we add a fullback, and we still can't run the ball. Oh, Josh Jacobs looked good in the 4th quarter. Because they were playing coverage. They were playing whatever that play is called, where you don't give up everything, where you put people 20, 30 yards down the field. Prevent. That's why Josh Jacobs got some big runs in the 4th quarter with like 7 minutes left. I don't understand the scheme. I don't understand it. It ain't working. And he doesn't seem to change it. And that's the best thing a coach can do, is change the scheme to adapt to their players. I was watching the Miami Dolphins game. They had missing pieces on the offensive line, missing star wide receivers out with illness or concussions or whatever was happening. And they scored 70 against the Broncos. We couldn't even manage 20 against the Broncos. And everybody's like, oh, we deserved that victory versus the Broncos. Man, we took it. We won against the Broncos. We deserved it. We got a victory, baby, 1-0, leading the division. What's up? What's up? Did you all watch that game? I did. We deserved to lose that game. We got lucky. We got Vegas gambling lucky to win that Denver Broncos game with this team. Then, it bothers me, but it worked out, so I'm going to let it go. We had 4th and inches early on in the game, and they had to do a trick play to Davante Adams for the touchdown. It worked. It's magic. It makes Davante Adams look good. It makes Josh McDaniels look good. But that play that we faked the handoff and threw a touchdown to Davante Adams, that play was the precursor to everything that happened the rest of the game. That play explained it all. The coach didn't even trust the run game, that he had to do a trick play on 4th and inches. He had to gamble, and it worked. So he looks genius. But if it didn't, it would be more fire to fire McDaniels. But it worked. But he didn't trust the offense enough. I mean, the run game enough to even get 4th and inches with the way we've been playing. So he didn't trust the defense. He didn't want to put them in that predicament, with punting the ball. He didn't trust the defense at that point. And he didn't trust the run game at that point. So he did a trick play. It doesn't matter. It worked. It looked good. Genius McDaniels. Then during the game, Max Crosby doesn't have Chandler Jones, doesn't really have Tyree Wilson. He's still a project. And again, we can debate whether Jalen Carter should have been drafted till the cows come home. Tyree Wilson played. Did he? Oh, he had an illness. He was sick. Did he? Yeah, he's sick of the Raiders and the way they're playing. But Max Crosby was built up to be on the left side of the ball or the right side, depending on which way you look at it, all the time. Matched up with Chandler Jones, Tyree Wilson, blah, blah, blah. Max Crosby can learn and solidify that selection or that side of the field. But in this game, knowing the default and the lack of pass rush that we have beyond Max Crosby, they decided, let's move him around the field. Let's make him a mobile defensive end. That'll be good for him. Max Crosby can do it, and he'll do it well. But that also points out to the inaccuracy and the inability of our rest of the team at the defensive side of the ball. If you have to now take our only star player and move him around the field, that's not good strategy, because we don't have a second defensive end to free him up. So no matter where you move Max Crosby, you ain't going to free him up. If you had a competent other defensive edge rusher that plays on the left as well as the right, then you can move Max Crosby and free him up. Now the teams don't know where Max Crosby is, where he's coming from, because they got to worry about Max Crosby and whoever else is the defensive edge rusher. That's a good scheme. That's a good reason to move Max Crosby all over the field, left, right, left, right. But when you don't got a complimentary second defensive end, you can't do that to Max, who's learning the left side more than the right side. He's probably better at the left side, 60% better or 70% better at the left side, because that's where he's honed in and he knows all the angles. But yes, he can do the right side as well. Clearly, he's amazing. It's just bad. It's bad Patrick Graham defense and understanding of the game. If he's better at the left side and you don't got a complimentary person to give him to move him around, keep him at the left side. Maybe another player can find some alleys while Max is being double and triple teamed. But they tried something new. Bravo. Bravo. You tried something new. Max deserves better. Then Marcus Epps and Marcus Peters. Oh, they look good, Mike. They look good. We got veterans, free agents. Marcus Epps and Marcus Peters. They gave up touchdowns. They had a couple good games. I mean, a couple of good plays in the backfield where they had to blitz or they had to come up in the field. And then let's talk about the Marcus Peters dropped touchdown. Shouldn't have happened. That would have changed the momentum of the game. Shouldn't have happened. He should have got it. Should have been a pick six. Raider Nation would have been celebrating, and that would have changed everything. He was wide open, and he dropped the ball. He dropped the mark. Cuss. Marcus Peters and Marcus Epps are now getting a new nickname from me. Whether they play good here and there, in general, they are the Marcuses. And they are marking us absent in the backfield. The Marcus absent brothers are playing fantastic. Marcus absent. Then Max Crosby was chippy and he got a big penalty. People think he shouldn't have done that, but I loved what he did. Max Crosby's always going to do that old Raider spirit where he has to get the last hit. He didn't think that would be a penalty, pulling the guy off of the pile, but it was. But I still love that spirit. And yes, they ended up driving down and scoring, and that did not help us. But you know what? It proved some toughness from Max Crosby. All right, let's go to my second bag of tricks, or my second note during the game. And again, this is in order while I was watching the game. Then close to halftime, I started to have the question, do we have a tight end or a fullback? Do we? And then why does our running game suck when we have two tight ends? Again, we have tight ends to help block. Why does it suck? You would think our run game would get better with two tight ends blocking. Now, here's the big one where, like I said, Josh McDaniels and his decision-making was crushing me. And I don't understand it. I don't get it. And let's just talk about it. All right. I don't know the exact details. We were down by 16 points. I believe it was the beginning of the fourth quarter. We're down by 16. Okay? It's 4th and 6 yards. We're probably at the 25-yard line. But we're down by 16 with 13 minutes left. That's right. It's the beginning of the fourth quarter. It's 4th and 6, and we're at the 25. We're down by 16. Josh McDaniels with a great decision, not trusting our defense in the fourth quarter. 4th and 6, down by 16. He goes for it. That's right. Instead of kicking the field goal, to be down by 13, automatic field goal from Daniel Carlson, we're down by 2 scores if they kick the field goal on 4th and 6. It was hard to get to the 20 whatever yard line. I get it. But he decided, I'm going to go for it. We're down by 16. That's 2 scores already. I'm going to go for it. I don't believe my defense can stop anything. When's the next time we're going to be down in the red zone or this area? I'm going to go for it. And we miss it. They get the ball. We're still down by 16. When if they kick that field goal there, there's still 13 minutes left and anything can happen. I'd rather be down by 13 than down by 16 with 13 minutes left. Then I posted on Twitter, and I don't know if you guys can see this on screen. Let me see if I can bring that screen up again. Again, a lot of technology, guys. Forgive me. Then I posted on Twitter a poll, because I like polls. Strippers like polls. Girls like penises that are shaped like poles. So I presented a poll. All right. And let me find that poll and how it has transpired from that point. Okay, I said it was 4th and 5, maybe. I thought it was 4th and 6. And then I wrote, do you agree with the 4th and 5 going for it with 13 minutes left? And again, it's probably going to ask me to sign in. So, oh, it shows me. I wrote yes right now. I made a mistake. But 68% said no. 30% of the people liked that he went for it on 4th and 5. Close to 70, even at that time, knew that it was a bad decision. Okay. So now let me bring up my notes again. There we go. So that leads into all the other decisions in the rest of the game. How he's making bad decisions. Then, again, this is after the game because my notes kind of go in a weird way. Oh, sorry. I brought up the third note. Then I noticed that Davante Adams, at that point in the fourth quarter, was targeted on 50% of all the pass plays. That's really bad. It's really bad. Oh, that's good for fantasy. If he's the only guy you got that you need to throw it 50% of the time, so if we had 44 pass plays, that means he got the ball 22 times or targeted 22 times. It's bad scheming compared to the Miami offense. He's supposed to be a genius. Why aren't players getting open? Why is Davante Adams having to be targeted on every play? Because he's the only guy they got and McDaniels game plans for. He doesn't game plan for anybody else. He makes the first wide receiver the only read. He doesn't allow quarterbacks to change at the line of scrimmage. That happened with the quarterback that shall not be named. It's also happening with Jimmy Garoppolo. You're going to get Davante Adams killed with playing him like that. Davante Adams is all over the field. And the plays look the same as they did last year. Again, maybe for weekly. If you watch this week 3, Maybe it was the same exact game or plans or plays from week 3 of last year in the same exact order. I don't know. But you're going to kill Davante Adams. You got him going across the slot in the middle of the field all the time. Him and Jacoby Myers. Why did you bring in 6, technically, slot wide receivers to go across the middle that play that position if you're only going to do it with Jacoby Myers and Davante Adams on 50% of the time? That's what Hunter Renfro does. That's what Trey Tucker does. Was Trey Tucker drafted for that reason or just to be the speed guy? They're all listed as slot wide receivers. Why did you get all those slot wide receivers and you're only going to run 2 tight end sets for the most part? A left and a right. That's what the Miami Dolphins do well. Sorry, guys. It looks like my internet keeps going out. That's what the Miami Dolphins do well. They put their players in all different sorts of positions, and they have them running all over the field. That's why they don't know where anybody is. Well, Davante Adams is the only good player. Bullshit. Jacoby Myers looks good, too. Hunter Renfro can look good in a system that'll make him and help him look good. Well, blame Jimmy G. He's not looking for Hunter Renfro. Whatever you want to think. But look at the players they brought in. 5 or 6 slot wide receivers alongside Davante Adams and Jacoby Myers. Who Jacoby Myers is also a slot wide receiver. Why did they bring in all those slot wide receivers? Because they know Jimmy G doesn't throw the deep ball, and Jimmy G throws across the middle 5, 10, 15 yards at most. And they're not even using those other players at those positions. They're just doing the same plays with Davante Adams on the sidelines, expecting him to make a toe drag catch, and then putting him across the middle where he has to jump up and get the ball and almost get himself killed and crushed. And when he almost got the concussion last week, it was the same play this week where he had to go even higher to get the ball, and he couldn't get it. This offense is stagnant and full of BS. Then, on a 2-point conversion, where we were down 16, we got a touchdown. We could have been down 13. Remember, if we kicked the field goal earlier, we could have been down 13, and we could have just went for 7 and been down by 6. But we were down by 16 because of the bad decisions by McDaniels, and we got the touchdown, and then we were forced to go for 2 with 9 minutes left or whatever it was, 8 minutes left. And they finally target a tight end on the 2-point conversion trick play. And we even had a penalty on that play that brought our running backs 1 yard closer to the 2-point conversion. There was a penalty on that PAT attempt or whatever. And they still didn't have enough faith in the run game to run it in from 1 yard. So they had to do another trick play like they did earlier on 4th and inches. They had to do another trick play to a tight end who didn't play all game. So the other team was like, I didn't know they had a tight end. He's wide open. We get a 2-point conversion. It looked fantastic. We're all excited. But think about how it all played out. It's bad decisions. They have to do trick plays. The run game is that bad. We're not dominating at the line of scrimmage. And they have to pull trick plays with players that are unknown to be on the roster, that were drafted to be one of the best tight ends in the league. He was drafted to be Baby Gronk. We got Baby Gronk, man. We got the best tight end in the league. We don't need no Darren Waller. We got Michael Myers. He's scary good. Well, we don't play him all game. Then we have to use him on trick plays to get a 2-point conversion. Well coaching, well draft picks, good job. Then we're down by 8. We're down by 8 points. It says 2 minutes left on 4th and 3. We all know how this played out. This is the one that gets everybody riled up, the controversy going, gets everybody riled up about the bad decision. When they're forgetting the bad decision earlier to go for it on 4th and 6. At this point, like I said, we could have been down by 6, if not 7 at this point. And the Raiders got penalties to even bring them to a 4th and 3 in the red zone. They got penaltied, gifted to get a first down on one of those series. Now they came down. The clock kept running. Everybody is all the experts are talking about it. It was just bad clock management. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Okay? Once we got stopped, again, we should have been down by 13, or at worst 7 at this point. Or I'm sorry, 6 or 7, depending on the math. But still, we're down by 8. 2.5 minutes left. The clock is winding. We need another possession. Now it's 4th and 3. This is the moment you go for it. Not the earlier moment you should have kicked the field goal. This is the moment you go for it. Every intelligent person says there's like 2.5, 3 minutes left. We're probably not going to get another possession. So let's try to score and tie the game up now. Not Josh McDaniels. We're down by 8. And then he does math in his head. Genius, 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 genius. If we kick the field goal, we'll be down by 5. We'll still be down by 5, which will need a touchdown to win the game. And there's still 2.5 minutes left. And we got 1 timeout. I trust our defense. Let me kick a field goal here to be down by 5. Okay, genius, genius, genius. Welp, to any sane, rational person, you're still down a touchdown. You're still down a score. Even if you go for it on 4th and 3 on the 14-yard line, you might get a first down. You might get a touchdown. You might tie the game up. You might be down by 1. You might be down by 2. Where if you get the ball back, you only need a field goal to win the game. Simple math. But he kicks the field goal. If we didn't complete it on 4th and 3, if we didn't get the first down or the touchdown, we're still down by 8 with the same amount of time on the clock. And now they're further down the field instead of kicking the field goal and then them getting the ball at the 25 or whatever it might be. They would have been at the 14. They would have been 10 yards deeper into their end zone while we had the ball with 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes left or whatever it was with a timeout. Still down by 8 points. I'm sure, like the math, I understood it. I am not a genius. I don't understand math and equations and all that very well. But I knew football. I knew coaching at that moment. Earlier in the game, when we were down 16, I said, we got to kick a field goal to be down by 13. But nope, he decided to go for it. I don't trust my offense. I don't trust my defense. Now, his excuse after the game was that he trusted his defense because they look better. I'm not a genius, like I said, but I knew they should have kicked that field goal and been down by 13. Then when this moment arrived, I knew they should have went for it. I don't know how I complicated the math, but I did. He could not do it. Then we're going to watch his excuses, and we're going to prove all the BS in the press conference for this one big decision that he blew it. He blew multiple decisions in this game. And he did the same thing last year. Every game was close, and we barely lost, and it's okay, and the quarterback that shall not be named is the problem. Same thing is happening this year. Last year, a lot of us were like, it's coaching. It's coaching. People are like, no, it ain't. It's the quarterback that shall not be named. And we got a winning quarterback on our roster now. Okay. Then this is what kills me as well. We were trying to get another possession. Again, we were down by 5. We had a timeout. We were trying to get another possession, and we needed them to stop them on defense. All right, there was 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the game. They had a 3rd or 4th down where they went for it. They did a good play. They got the quarterback on a quick pass play, blah, 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 and they got a 1st down to keep the clock rolling. But here's my issue. After they got the 1st down, again, the game is pretty much over. But they got the 1st down with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. And we had a timeout. If you take the timeout with 2 minutes and 5 or 4 seconds, when they got the 1st down, then they have to run the first play again, the 1st down. Then the 2-minute warning will hit. Then we get an additional 2nd timeout because of good clock management. Then maybe we get the ball back if we stop them on 3rd and 4th. Maybe we get the ball back with 30, 40 seconds left, depending on the math. But Josh McGenius, after they got the 1st down, when the clock was running, he let the clock run instead of taking the timeout before the 2-minute warning. Watch the game again. We could have created an additional timeout to try to get the ball back, but he didn't. He let the clock run, the 2-minute warning hit, then they ran the 1st down play, then we took a timeout, and then blah, 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 so on and so forth. It's basic football knowledge. With 1 timeout left, you take it before the 2-minute warning, because the 2-minute warning creates an additional timeout to your teams. Again, I'm not saying we would have won the game. Blah. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's decision making. It's just he's not a part of the game. He's on his own an island. I'm going to do it my way. It's my way or the highway. He's like Frank Sinatra with everything, every position group, every play, every scheme, every player, every decision. I did it my way. All right. Then let's quickly go through these and let's get into the press conference. Wanted to say what's up to David Laricia, Mark Thompson, Michael F., Tony Kaplan, Zamari Z, Ray, Santos Garcia, Galicia, forgive me. Frankie Mascata is online. What's up? Nosy East London. Malo213, Steven, Westside Media. Please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button if you're enjoying today's live stream. And consider donating, super chatting, becoming a member. Help support me. It'll inspire me to go live more often. Because if I can make a few bucks, instead of wasting my time for $1.50 or $2 per video on YouTube, if I get a few bucks, it really, really helps me. And I appreciate you. But more importantly, keep the chat room lit. Hit that like button and all that other good stuff. All right. McDaniels in the press conference. We're going to watch it in a minute. He was still confused at his choices during the press conference. He goes, I did it because of this and blah, blah, blah. We're going to go over that. He was still confused. I mean, even the reporters and people with simple knowledge of football knew all the decisions he was making were wrong. And he should have owned up to it. But he didn't. He didn't even say, it's my bad. I blew it. He doesn't want to take accountability. And somebody else didn't take accountability for the game. We're going to talk about that in a minute as well. Then, at the end of the press conference, we're going to see it. He smiles and laughs when he walks off the pressure. That's right. He smiled and laughed. Remember last year when the Kansas City Chiefs did the merry-go-round at our home stadium or on the field or whatever, whenever it happened, to get revenge for the Gruden bus trip? He was asked, was that disrespectful that the Kansas City Chiefs did the merry-go-round play or the ring around the rosy play or the circling bus play? Was that disrespectful to the Raiders, to you guys? No. It's just football. It's football. Damn right it was disrespectful. He should have got mad there. That's why Gruden ran the bus around the damn Kansas City Stadium. Because Gruden has some balls. I hate comparing Gruden to McDaniels. I didn't even want Gruden to be the coach of this team. But man, I miss Gruden. I miss him. That man can handle press conferences. That man can handle, talking in public. That man can handle Raider Nation. He'll take accountability. He'll tell the truth. And he'll do it with a smile. And he'll piss some people off. He doesn't toe the line. He's a leader. Whether I really think he's the best coach or not, I don't. After the Super Bowl sabotage with his best friend, Bill Callahan, and him saying, boom! During the Super Bowl video, when they beat us, when he gave Callahan the playbook, and they knew all the playbook each other, and they called the same plays, John Gruden was like, keep throwing the ball. We know where it's going. I coached up my team. I gave them the playbook. Boom! That crushed me. That's why I'm a damn real Raider fan, because that crushed me. I don't like him. I didn't want him to come back as our coach. But he's still a Raider. He's a Raider at heart. And we've been talking about heart this whole episode. Gruden was a Raider. Whether you liked it or you think he came back just for the $100 million or I called it the Gruden Revenge Tour, he's still better than McDaniels. He at least had the Raider heart or the Raider spirit until he got traded. Then he wanted revenge. Maybe he came back to the Raiders to get revenge and ruin the team. I do not know. But now looking back, he at least had some Raider spirit. This McDaniels character never will. All right, now, when I wrote Tom Brady still technically is not the owner or partial owner of the Raiders team. with Jimmy Garoppolo looking this bad, when is the narrative about Tom Brady coming out of retirement going to start where he's going to save our season? Because they originally wanted Tom Brady. We all know this. Josh McDaniels wanted Tom Brady. That's why they benched Derek Carr. They didn't care about getting rid of him. They were thinking Tom Brady has been in the bag. He talks to Mark Davis on the side. He's with Tampa now. We possibly could have had him in 2020. But again, Gruden picked Carr. And I will do that pick every day of the rest of my life. If that pick ever came to me, if I was Gruden. Gruden kept Carr over Tom Brady. Where Tom Brady made a press conference or an interview where he said, "You're going to keep that MFer?" Again, whether you like Carr or not, I don't care. Me, as a Raider, understanding the legacy of Tom Brady with the Patriots and all that drama and lies and BS. If I was Gruden, I 100 times out of 100 times would stick with Derek Carr instead of Tom Brady. Because they are Raiders to me. I don't want to win a Patriot championship after the fact. And that's what Mark Davis did. But they wanted Tom Brady. They thought they had him in the bag. But he went up and retired. And it messed with the Raiders' plans. Oh, man. We messed our plans up. We wanted Tom Brady. That's why we technically got rid of Carr. Let's just do it. We're going to get Tom Brady. Well, Tom Brady messed it all up. He was tired. He was losing in Tampa. He didn't want to put another year together. He didn't want to work with McDaniels. Blah, blah, blah. He retired. So now they go out and they get their guy, the second best or the third option, whatever it was. Jimmy Garoppolo. And how has that looked so far? That's all I'm saying. But Tom Brady can technically come out of retirement and play for an NFL team because there's a rule that a partial or an owner cannot play for a team if they're an owner of an NFL team or a partial owner. But he's not officially an owner. It has not officially been voted on, approved, or the transaction hasn't went through, but he's still hanging out, trying to be a part of the Raiders with Mark Davis, like in that first week game or the preseason game or whatever it was, where he was seen with Mark Davis. So technically, Tom Brady can play for the Raiders. So when is that narrative going to start? Do I want him to play for the Raiders? No. Don't you just want a championship? No. He'll be better than Garoppolo, I know. But no. No. I would rather play Aiden O'Connell. But the narrative might happen, guys. I'm giving you a precursor to what might happen. If the Raiders around week 8 or 9 or 10 have a 500 record, maybe a slightly better record, a quarterback might come out of retirement to play the final 6 or 7 games if he believes there's a chance at the playoffs, because he doesn't have to play the entire season. He only has to play 8 or 9 or 10 games and maybe get to a Super Bowl. So it's not that hard on the body or his health and all that other stuff. So, depending on our position and how bad or good Garoppolo plays the rest of the way, if he's healthy or not, there's a 20% possibility, if we have a decent record, that Tom Brady might come out of retirement and play for the Raiders. Is it in the NFL script? Well, I read the script a few weeks ago, and I'm going to let you guys know we have some more surprises ahead. The NFL script is very, very interesting for the Raiders. I've read it. I know what's going on. It's very interesting. I cannot confirm nor deny that Tom Brady will be our starting quarterback at the end of the season. I cannot confirm or deny. Then Jimmy G was supposed to do his press conference. I tuned in to watch the press conferences, and he did not do a press conference. Why? Why did Jimmy Garoppolo not take accountability, and why did they cancel the press conference? Well, here's the funny thing. He played the entire game. He got hit a lot of times. I don't know when that hit occurred. I believe I saw a hit in the second quarter where he got hit in the head, and they were talking about it. That might have been in the third quarter, but I thought it was in the second quarter. They didn't take him out. But after the game, he played the entire game, goes into the locker room. He does interviews in the locker room. He talks to Hondo Carpenter. He does interviews in the locker room. Then, when his press conference is scheduled and he has to take accountability publicly, now all of a sudden it's canceled and he's being looked after for a concussion. Well, in week 1, we lost the game. I'm sorry, we won the game. But in week 1, somebody quoted and said he missed that press conference as well, or he got evaluated for a concussion after the game or whatever as well. I do not know if that's factual. I don't think it is. But if it is, it's interesting. Why was he not taken out of the game or after the play or whatever? Why all of a sudden now, at the end of the game, he's feeling woozy or whatever? Again, if he truly has a concussion or he's being checked and he really feels that way, I understand it. And get better. I hope everything's fine. I hope you're okay. You took some bad hits. But there's too many excuses with health, with other things within this organization every year. Even last year with Derek Carr. I'm sorry, the quarterback that shall not be named. That we don't know what's truth from fiction that's coming from the regime that appears to act like frickin' snakes. We don't trust or believe or respect most of these people in the locker room. And that's what the quarterback that shall not be named is talking about. I wish people on that team felt the same way that I do about this team or this organization. I wish people in that locker room, felt the same way. Go ahead and make fun of him for crying. Go ahead. That's passion, baby. That's passion. That's respect. There's no crying in football. That was our Raider heart. But at least Derek Carr, after every loss, went to a press conference. And again, I'm assuming it's a lie. The concussion check or whatever. I'm assuming it's an excuse to not do the press conference. I'm assuming or speculating. Because that's all we have to do nowadays is speculate with this team. I'm assuming and speculating that it's not factual and he won't end up truly having a concussion or be in the protocol in the next couple days. So I'm taking it as an excuse as of right now to not take accountability for the loss. But if in the coming days he is in the protocol, that also might be a way for them to prove that it wasn't an excuse. But the NFL should look into it. If he's put on the concussion protocol, that means it happened during the game and he wasn't taken out. So the coaches, the staff, the players, the medical staff, the NFL missed it. And then he did interviews in the locker room, and then he literally is concussed and started feeling the effects. Well, the NFL needs to look into that. But it might be a lie. And our quarterback that shall not be named stood up, never took accountability for every game, whether he said the right things or not. I don't remember him ever not coming out for a press conference, taking accountability, talking about a bad loss. But I do remember it from Jimmy Garoppolo. People are saying he only did it one time. Maybe he did it in the Denver game. I got to go back and do my research. But Jimmy Garoppolo might be just as insecure as Derek Carr. But Jimmy Garoppolo needs to escape criticism. Jimmy Garoppolo does a disappearing act more than the quarterback that shall not be named. Jimmy Garoppolo, remember when he got fired or benched from the 49ers? He wrote a whole letter to the team. And he wasn't even benched or fired at that point. But he wrote a whole letter thanking them, saying goodbye before it was official. That means he's insecure. He's like, I'm going to get out in front of it before it happens. Then this training camp, before training camp, at the contract signing, he disappeared. He was supposed to have a press conference. I don't know what happened there. Do I blame Garoppolo? Was he lying? Was the team lying? Whatever, the injury concerns, the contract, I don't know. But he did a disappearing act for the contract signing. They had to delay it till the next day. Then during training camp, he started having veteran days off. That's right. He probably had 4 days off in the first 20 days or 15 days of training camp or 12 days or whatever it was. He had 4 days off. They were planned days off. Okay. That's a disappearing act. So, whether you guys want to see the pattern or the writings on the wall is up to you. Okay? So, I don't know if it's an excuse or not, but it does not look good optically. All of the decisions from McDaniels, the staff, with the days off, the contract situation, this and that, the optics are so bad, and it just proves this team publicly is a clown show. And the people running the team, also the publicity department, make major errors here and there. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. There's no competent people running this team. There might be a few, but they've all been fired or kicked out or replaced. And now we got a woke general manager that pleases Patriot fans that get yelled at by Raider Nation during a game. Remember that happened last year with the Raider fan and the Patriot fan at the game? Me, you, and your pet rat. I shouldn't say that. Me, you, and your pet cat can run this team better. Now, the narratives after the game were that the defense did good. The defense played good. The defense looked better. It was all the offense. It was all McDaniels. All right. For the people saying our defense looked good, you're full of BS. Coming into this game, we were giving up 23 points on average to every team. And that continued. They scored 23. We did not look good. We did not look better. We looked average. We looked average. And people think that means the Raiders' defense looked good because we looked average. That shows you how bad our defense is almost every year. For when a game like this happens, we say, man, we look good. We look better. I spoke about Max Crosby moving on the left and the right. I spoke about the Marcus absent players in the backfield. We looked average. So for the people saying our defense looked good, you're all full of BS. Because the Steelers were the worst offensive in the league coming into this week, and we still gave up 23 points to a team that was averaging 15 points a game and the worst offense in the league. They were averaging 15 points a game. They were the effing worst offense. And people always give excuses. It's because they were on the field more than normal because the offense sucked and couldn't do anything. They were on the field and they were tired, Mikey Raider. They were on the field more than normal, and the interceptions from Garoppolo cost us. But they played average, which is not good. But the truth is, average is good for our team. Let's quickly look at Josh McDaniels' offense. People keep saying he's been on the team for 2 years. No, he hasn't. He's been on the team about a year and 4 months, 3 months, not 2 years. But still, this is Josh McDaniels' offense. Let's quickly look at some tweets that piqued my interest. Ray Leonard Asperia, McDaniels' call to kick the field goal instead of going for it was one thing. Putting the ball game in the hands of his D-Strench and Patrick Graham was another. Both decisions are ground for dismissal for McDaniels and Graham. Then, that I used in my thumbnail from the Amazing Raider post, we've seen enough. Fire McDaniels. Frankie chiming in, hooking a brother up. If McTrash gets canned, who do you think will be the head coach? It ain't going to happen. It will not happen. Not this year. It will not happen. I mean, if I have to be objective and say if it happens, who will be the interim head coach? Well, again, everybody on the staff is damn Patriots or stool pigeons for the team. I'd be honest with you, I'd run out and I'd hire Rich Bisaccia back. I would make the mistake that I made earlier by not keeping Rich Bisaccia. I would hire him back somehow. But we don't have the money. He's under contract for 4 years for $40 million. He's getting the same exact money as John Gruden did per year. It ain't going to happen. Mark Davis is broke. That's why he's selling parts of the team. The NFL is slowly coming after us. The team, I don't know how much longer, will be under the Davis name officially. And that's just speculation. But Frankie, I love you, brother. I don't know if you got a win in our fantasy football league this week. I don't know. Thank you for hooking me up. I appreciate the donations for a good job that I think I'm doing talking the truth. I'm not drinking beers for money. I'm just being me, and I'm being a Raider. Thank you, Frankie. I love you, brother. People are saying Mick Lombardi will be the coach. I wanted to show your guys' comments. Forgive me, but I'm kind of doing a show right now. So again, if you put the super chats, the comments will be posted during the show, but we will have a fan chat in a little bit to really get down and I can share your guys' comments. So I thought that was an interesting quote. Then Alex Monfrida said, it's time to have an uncomfortable conversation, Raider Nation. Then somebody in response to him to this said, Shut the F up. You're not a real Raider. That's what somebody reposted or responded to him. But let's hear this. He said, and he said it intelligently. It's time to have an uncomfortable conversation, Raider Nation. As a team with no real chance of competing, we still have a chance of competing, Alex. But I understand you're taking the negative view, which I always do as well. So I understand you, Alex Manfreda. As a team with no real chance of competing, what is the benefit of the Raiders keeping a Davante Adams who will be 31 years old in December? It's a shame, but perhaps getting assets for a brighter tomorrow is the move. Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Alex. I understand exactly what you're saying. And the problem is that I understand exactly what you're saying. Football is football. Davante Adams is still one of the best players in the league. But again, if he's going to be almost killed in every game, going across the middle, because Josh McDaniels cannot be creative, and if he's going to be upset after every game and every decision that this staff is doing, getting rid of his best friends, this and that, so on and so forth, and he said, me and the organization don't see eye to eye. He said that in the preseason. He walked back on it, of course, because you can't make Josh McDaniels look bad. You can't tell the truth with this Raiders team. And getting assets for Davante Adams might be the route. It might be the route. It's not a good route, but it might be the route. And it might happen that exact way. And it's already happened that exact way with other players like Darren Waller, who we got undervalued for. We got a third or fourth, fifth round pick, whatever it was. We also didn't get any value for the decision to bench the quarterback that shall not be named. So what makes you think that McDaniels can actually work out a trade for Davante Adams where we get good enough assets? It'll have to be early rather than later. It cannot be at the end of next season. It has to be early this season or before the trade deadline to get anything of actual real value for Davante Adams. And then he said, perhaps getting assets for a brighter tomorrow is the move. Well, that brings me into the quote that goes, the greatness of the Raiders lies in its future. Fudge that. That is the worst quote I've ever heard of. The future will never happen. It's just a way to them to give an excuse to say, every time we lose, don't worry, the greatness of the Raiders lies in its future. And again, I'm not trying to disrespect Al Davis, who came up with that quote. But when is the future? The future is now? The future is the future? When's it going to happen? They need to get rid of quotes like that just don't make no damn sense. They even wear a t-shirt right now that says, be the standard, or, always be the standard. I talked about it on the last couple shows. They wear a shirt that says Raider Nation or Raiders become the standard. The standard of what? Standard of losing? And if we don't have nothing to live up to, if the standard was winning, then we can become the standard this year. That'd be a good quote. But for this team, they say, become the standard. You have to set a standard to become it. It's just my opinion. Frankie, you can't offend the train's pets. I can't even say that word on YouTube. You can't offend them. You're exactly right. Unknown Raider, I just wanted to show this. He's not threatening to leave, but he said some interesting stuff. and we're going to get into that. Andrew Siciliano, he was the best host of NFL Red Zone on DirecTV. The guy that they got for NFL Network on Red Zone sucks ass. He sucks ass. This was the best guy ever, Andrew Siciliano. The guy for this Red Zone on NFL, because now there's no more DirecTV Red Zone. It's only NFL Network Red Zone. Andrew Siciliano was the best host. I love that guy. I miss that guy. He got the big ears. Looks like Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine. But I love him. I love him, love him, love him, love him. He wrote, there really isn't a reasonable justification for kicking that field goal. If you turn the ball over on downs, you still have your timeouts. Not sure how you explain it to your team. And we're going to watch that in a second. Underneath, the Pharaoh wrote, the penalty was a gift. I'm sorry, the penalty on the field goal was a gift. If you were just going to kick a field goal anyway, then you take the 3 and then decline the penalty and preserve the clock. Yes, another good point. What the heck is McDaniels doing? Then, here's an interesting stat. Since the 2-point conversion was adopted in 1994, the Raiders are the only NFL team to attempt a field goal in the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter when they are down by exactly 8 points. No other NFL team that was down by 8 points ever kicked a field goal with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, with less than 5 yards to go for a first down. It was 4th and 3. They are the only team in NFL history to kick a field goal in the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter when down by 8 points. That's like a Josh DeBow hater stat. But you know what? They're facts. Everybody keep drinking that Kool-Aid that Josh McDaniels is a genius. All right, that's it for my notes. Let's get on to this press conference debacle. Let's talk about it. I want to break it down with you guys. I just want to laugh. I need to laugh. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to rant. I just need to laugh. Let's do this, guys. But let's take a quick break and come right back, and let's review and expose the BS from McDaniels. What's good, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Mikey Raider. We are now into an hour and a half into today's live post-game aftermath. The lies exposed. Please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider donating, becoming a member of this channel to help support your boy, who I can use it. I appreciate it, but you don't have to. But if you can, thank you. God bless. We got Raider Tiger online, True Raider, Frankie Masquado. And we just reviewed the game. We saw Mikey's notes. I had some particular notes, kind of went over the game from my perspective, exposed what I saw, what I thought, blah, blah, blah. We didn't need to get into details. But now, a lot of people like this segment when I critique or react to a post-game press conference. Unfortunately, we're not doing this live, meaning I'm seeing it for the first time. I was so livid last night, I stayed online to watch all the Raider content that was coming out after the show. And that being said, quickly, I just want to give a shout out to Silver and Black Today and Murph and Raiders Fan Radio. They had, in my opinion, the best post-game show after the Raiders played the game that I've seen. Again, we got other people that go live as well, like Sanjit, I forgot, like the Graphic Raiders, the OTD Network, and I haven't watched them all. All right, I'll be honest with you. And if I don't go live post game, which I need to, I'm hoping to, but I'm the best post game show, but I'm being narcissistic there. But I really, really loved the Silver and Black Today show with Murph and Gully, Las Vegas Gully, going live. It seemed more down to earth instead of the yelling, the ranting, and the raving, which I need much more in my life. And I just enjoyed it. And I need to do a show with Murph. I love Murph. We have no communication problems, except me that I don't communicate. But I've had technology issues. I've had health issues. I have mental issues. And I just can't seem to put it all together to do a weekly show with Murph because my clock is all over the place. So for that, I apologize. But I loved their post-game show. And check out Raiders Fan Radio. They do a really good job, and they need your support. And it was a good time. It was a good show. All right, let's watch the press conference. Let me see if I can make this screen even a little bit bigger. And we're going to have issues where when the video plays on StreamYard or through my computer, it lags and it has audio issues. The internet buffers. For whatever reasons, I can't control it. And then my audio sometimes gets off pace. So we might have some of that. So just bear with me and we'll get it going. All right, let's put on the Josh McDaniels ridiculous press conference and let's watch the lies and the just stupidness of him not even taking accountability, not even answering the questions, avoiding it. And it's just really, really bad. I mean, this is the person that runs our team. Just think about that when you're watching this, okay? Let's do it.
Good? Okay. Yes. I'm sorry.
Hey, Josh, in that last sequence when you guys had the ball.
I'm sorry. See if I can get a better. There we go. I'm sorry. Yeah. He's always nervous and scared, especially after a loss. He's like, I'm sorry. Get your damn poise. You had a bad game, made a lot of bad decisions. Own up to it. I'm going to get out here. I'm going to get this team right, and let's do this. What happened? This is what happened. I messed up. I'm going to fix it. I believe in this team.
Any consideration to going for it?
Of course.
What was the thought process? Hey,
Look at that. He's already like, yeah, I know I'm going to get those questions about field goals.
Good? Okay. Yes. I'm sorry.
Hey, Josh, in that last sequence when you guys had the ball, any consideration to going for it?
Of course.
What was the thought process?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
he had consideration to go for it. He has his head down. You can't even see his eyes. And listen to this. Listen to this. Sorry, I talk too much.
In that last sequence when you guys had the ball, any consideration to going for it?
Of course.
What was the thought process?
yeah, of course. I mean,
You had consideration to go for it? Are you being real? Are you being real? Yeah, of course. Of course I had consideration to go for it. We did. You did not. Because if you had any consideration to go for it, you would have thought that's the better decision.
I thought we,
See, he doesn't even know the answer now. He doesn't even know the answer. I thought
you have two choices there,
Oh, do you? You got two choices? Really? Really? You got two choices. You can kick the field goal. or you can go for it. You don't have two choices. You got one choice. You got one. You got one choice. I was trying not to get mad. You don't have two choices. You have one. That's to go for it and still be down by a touchdown with 3 minutes left. If you don't get it, you're still down by the same amount of points, a touchdown.
You try to make it a 5-point game where you have an opportunity to win it with a touchdown if you get the ball.
We had an opportunity, we had an opportunity. What about early in the game when we were down 16? And you go for it. You had faith then. You could have made it a 13-point game with a field goal. You have two choices.
Ball back, or you try to, go for it there, and then,
Look at that. He's trying to justify it to himself while he's talking to himself. That's how imbecilic of a leader this man is.
Try to make it a 5-point game where you have an opportunity to win it with a touchdown if you get the ball back, or you try to, go for it there, and then if you happen to convert, then you got to make the 2-point conversion, all the rest of it. So
if you have to convert, you have to do this, you have to do that. You have to score a touchdown while you're in the red zone, or you have to get a first down with 2 minutes or 3 minutes on the clock. That's what you got to do. Simple Jack.
Those are the decisions you got to make. I thought we did a decent job of putting ourselves in third down there the next series with the defense to try to have a play to get off the field, and we just
that's when you didn't take the timeout that we just spoke about earlier.
And handle that play very well.
Did he say I or they? I got to hear that again. Sorry.
To get off the field, and we didn't handle that play very well.
Oh, we. Okay.
No.
He said we. All right. So you're talking about Patrick Graham.
You're going to need another possession anyway. You know what I mean?
So now you can't hear the reporters. And you notice how Raiders.com, in most press conferences, they amp up the Raiders questions or the reporters where you can hear the question. But for some reason, they've edited versions of it. They also didn't make it loud enough for us to hear the questions that he's answering. So this reporter is now going on top of the previous question, wanting him to explain his decision-making on that field goal. And he still doesn't answer it correctly or take accountability or admit it's a mistake. If the reporters are asking you, it's a mistake. Don't try to justify a mistake. Own up to it and move the heck on.
We didn't handle that play very well. No. You're going to need another possession anyway. You know what I mean? So it's not a lack of confidence. We went for it multiple times.
Josh,
it's not a lack of confidence. Don't get me started.
Down 16 and over 6 minutes to go. You're huddling your team's.
Kondo had it wrong. He said down 16. There was a point where they were down 16 with 13 minutes to go. They could have kicked a field goal and been down 13. But again, whatever. Let's listen to Hondo.
It's not a lack of confidence. We went for it multiple times.
Josh, you're down 16 and over 6 minutes to go. You're huddling. Your team's walking to the line of scrimmage. There didn't seem to be a sense of urgency with the clock at all. So with that situation, you decide to kick the field goal with one of the most highly paid offenses in your quarterback. Can you talk about the clock management there, please?
Yeah.
Calling them out. So Hondo Carpenter realized from his perspective that when there was like 5-6 minutes left and they were driving down the field, that the team didn't have any urgency because they were down by 16 with 6 minutes left. You need 2 touchdowns 2-point conversions, and you need to hustle. So after a play happens, your team needs to get to the line. You need to be poised. You need to keep going. Keep that train moving. You got to score as quickly as possible. From Hondo Carpenter's perspective, he did not see that happening. He said there was no hustle. And that was proven. It was proven time and time again. And now watch McDaniels talk about it.
Field goal with one of the most highly paid offenses.
He's disagreeing with that notion that they were not on pace or on top of the ball or rushing.
In your quarterback, can you talk about the clock management there, please?
Yeah, I mean, when the score was what it was, we needed multiple possessions to go. We needed to do the right thing with multiple.
We needed multiple sessions. We needed to do the right thing, like NPC alert, NPC alert, NPC. Ice cream so good. Ice cream so good. Magic hat. Ice cream so good. Yum.
One of the most highly paid offenses in your quarterback. Can you talk about the clock management there, please?
Yeah, I mean, when the score was what it was, we needed multiple possessions to go. We needed to do the right thing with multiple possessions. So, whether we were mixing in the tempo, we were mixing in, huddling. Trying to still stay with some of the runs, in the second half there in the fourth quarter where they're playing split safety defense and trying to really take away Davante and Jacoby and some of the receiver play.
He said Kobe. I know he meant Kobe Myers, but just sorry guys, we gotta laugh more while he's joking.
To go, we needed to do the right thing with multiple possessions. So, whether we were mixing in the tempo, we were mixing in, huddling, trying to still stay with some of the runs, in the second half there in the fourth quarter where they're playing split safety defense and trying to really take away Davante and Jacoby and some of the receiver play, and that's when, Josh hit a couple of the runs there in the fourth quarter. So, just trying to do the right thing, trying to be productive as best we can. And like I said, mixing in the tempo as we went.
Did I get away with it? Josh got a couple of good runs. Let's talk about Josh. We finally got the run game going in the fourth quarter. Did I get away with it?
Trying to be productive as best we can. And like I said, mixing in the tempo as we went. Yep. Yeah, those are plays obviously we don't want to make, and I think Jimmy makes a lot of good plays, but obviously when the quarterback holds the ball, he holds the fortune of our team also in his hands, when he's doing those things, and he knows.
Are you going to bench him like Derek Carr? Huh? Are you going to bench him? Sorry, I said the quarterback that shall not be named.
He understands the situation, and had a couple plays where we got to make a smarter choice and just go ahead and go to the next play, whether it's second and long or whatever it may be. But turning it over, this team is a team historically that they win when they get turnovers, and they have a harder time when they don't, and so a big key obviously was for us to take care of the ball. We didn't do a good enough job of that tonight.
Josh, you mentioned maybe a misplay on that third down late in the game, and there was a coverage issue on the touchdown. Max Crosby with the.
Now they're talking about the big touchdown given up by the Marcus absent players.
Josh, you mentioned maybe a misplay on that third down late in the game, and there was a coverage issue on the touchdown. Max Crosby with the unsportsmanlike penalty that ended up leading to some points. Just the frustration of that, of just, not being able to make those plays.
Yeah,
we needed to make.
I thought the defense hung in there. Obviously, look, we haven't played complimentary football really, yet. And so until we start doing that and, able to run the ball offensively, able to try to get, we got ahead again, but, didn't manifest itself.
Did you hear that? He's always trying to spin it in a direction to make the team or him look good. I'm tired of the spinning. Stop the fucking spinning. This is not the 1980s. You spin me right round, baby, round, round with the record, baby, right, round, round. You spin me. This is not politics. Stop the spinning. He said, oh, we had the lead like always, or we always got the lead, or we had. When did we have the lead? Yeah, we might have been up 7-0, but we didn't have the lead after that, and that was in the first quarter. We didn't even score in the second half, I don't think. Well, we did with the 8 points or whatever. But you know what I'm saying. Listen to the fucking spinning. So tired of listening to the spinning from this record. Not even taking accountability. At least the quarterback that shall not be named took accountability. He said, blame it all on me. He's constantly saying we. I know in other press conferences he says, I got to do a better job. But it means nothing. Listen to the spinning again.
Start doing that and, able to run the ball offensively, able to try to get, we got ahead again, but, didn't manifest itself in control of the game. I thought the defense hung in there, made a bunch of stops there to try to keep us, within a couple scores.
And again, that's what people go, I agree with him. The defense looked good, I agree, the defense played better. And again, I just exposed that they played average. They played better for a bad defense. So technically they didn't play better. They played average. That's the spin that the damn sheep believe and you guys listen to. Because you want, and I appreciate it. You try to find something positive. I appreciate that. But you got to find the negative until you find the positive. It doesn't work the other way around. You don't look for the positive and then end up with the negative, because then that just, guess what that does? It doesn't create a charge. You need the negative and the positive. But the negative always comes first. Why? Because it's negative.
Scores, and eventually, we punched it in, and then
I'll be honest with you guys. I don't even know if that battery reference made any sense. It's okay. That made about as much sense as Josh McDaniels talking to the team at his post-game press conference.
Of the game, I thought the defense hung in there, made a bunch of stops there to try to keep us, within a couple scores, and eventually, we punched it in, and then, became a one-score game, and then they stopped.
Now he's like, and then we punched it in, and then it became a one-score game, and I should have kicked the field goal, but I went for it. But then later I kicked the field goal when I should have went for it. And,
and gave us the ball back. So, I don't have any issue with the effort or the intentions. The defense, like I said, gave us an opportunity to win.
I don't have any issue with the defense. Do you have an issue with your own decisions? Just wondering. I'm asking for a friend.
Game. So, there's things we're going to see tomorrow that we're all going to need to fix, but I don't question anything.
There's things that we're going to see tomorrow that we're going to need to fix. Well, again, this is after the game. And I understand on the game planning and on the field, you're going to see some things that you need to fix. But you can't even see the mistakes from your coaching, from the decisions post-game, when 99.9% of anybody with any football IQ understands the mistakes you made. You don't even see it. I'm going to have to watch the game and think about it. I might have to do some research. I might have to get some popcorn. I might have to bring on the sliding scale. I might have to bring on the iPads, bring out some buttons. And you still probably won't even understand your decision making and the mistakes that you made. You're still going to sell it to yourself like you did earlier in this press conference, where you're going to go, yeah, I did, and I saw that. You need to make the right choice. You got two choices. You can do this, you can do that, you can spin it. I could have done this, I could have done that. I have two choices, and we were down by points, and you're still going to need another possession. And ooh, ice cream so good. Yum, yum. Ice cream so good. Yum, yum.
We tried to do defensively.
Josh Jacobs, he finally got going a little bit over here.
Okay, sorry.
He don't even know where the reporters are. Who's speaking? Yeah, sorry. I'm messed up. His brain is gone. He messed up and he knows it. Get your confidence before you talk to the people. Know the facts and own up to them. Become a damn leader. The team and the players are watching this stuff. How are they going to believe and understand anything you say when you're all over the place? You don't even understand your mistakes. I would rather have a head coach that is a leader that doesn't even know play calling or offense and defense, or has 30% knowledge of it, not being a so-called guru. I would rather have a motivating coach as the head coach. Then I want the offensive scheme people with a little bit of my knowledge to run that side of the ball. I want to run the team. I want to coach the team. I want to know decision-making on the game field. I want to understand the game. I want to see the future of the game, like how it might play out, what decisions I can make. I don't care about making a correct play call for Davante Adams on 3rd and 3. I don't care about picking the best quarterback, or making a high school quarterback an all-pro. Remember, he said that. I'm going to turn a high school quarterback. I could turn a high school quarterback into an all-pro with your damn ego. I would rather have a motivating coach. I'm going to say in the terms of John Madden, somebody that everybody looks up to and loves and respects, and that was Rich Bisaccia. Everybody respected Gruden as well, but again, he had an iron fist as well. But Rich Bisaccia was a family man, a heart man, and he had all the respect, and he was getting his shot. They rallied around him. They will not do it for Josh McDumbutt. No way. After all the moves he's made in disgust and in snake fashion, this team will not rally around him as much as they would have with Rich Bisaccia. Yeah, they're going to try until really the wheels fall off the bus. Will he lose the locker room? He's technically lost grip right now. He might have lost it last year, but he's technically lost the grip right now at this moment. So what he does from here on out is up to anybody.
Josh Jacobs, he finally got going a little bit over here.
Okay, sorry.
Got going a little bit in the second half. Finally got an 8-yard run, 9-yard run, 10-yard run, but still seems to be maybe stuck in the starting gates. Just talk about his where he's at.
Honestly, I think the running game is a function of a lot of people doing their job well. It was last year when he was the rushing champion. A lot of people did their job well, including.
You see, he's got to spin it. He's got to bring out the accolades. You get anything to avoid from the truth. Anything to avoid from the truth.
Him, and I just, I don't feel like we're quite there yet. Obviously, we haven't done a very good job of running the football for 3 games, and we've had a few moments here and there, like you referenced, but we need to do
We had a few moments of running the game, like here and there, like you referenced. Yeah, it was the fourth quarter of the game. We're down by 16. They're playing prevent defense with 5 or 6 minutes left. Of course, Josh Jacobs is now going to run the ball better when everybody is in the backfield and they're not climbing up to the line of scrimmage because they're in prevent. That is not a credit to the run game.
better job of keeping the line of scrimmage clean and getting him an opportunity to get through the line of scrimmage to the linebackers and into the secondary, into the defense. And we haven't done a good enough job of that.
Josh, you and Dave had signed Hunter, and given him.
Now, Hondo Carpenter, for the most part, I call him a stool pigeon reporter. He backs down everything that Josh McDaniels says, and he spins it in a positive direction, always for Josh McDaniels. But something has changed within Hondo Carpenter, at least this week. I watched his post-game report, and his questions are really, really good, and they're poignant, and they're deserved. I appreciate what you did here, Hondo. I appreciate you. This is what we need more of. Hold these MFers accountable. Hold them accountable. Let them reveal their nature.
Josh, you and Dave had signed Hunter, and given him a big deal, and he's been non-existent this year. I'm curious, for you guys, how
did you see his smirk? Did you see his smirk when he said you guys have signed Hunter to be your slot wide receiver, but yet Davante Adams is the slot wide receiver nowadays? You signed Hunter to a big deal, and he's not being used. And then in his mind, he disagrees, and he goes, like, I don't agree with you. And then watch him spin it and say, oh, he's being used, whether he's open all the time, whether he's not on the field, he's not in the game plan. He's not just saying, well, just say the truth. I haven't used him well enough. I haven't used him well enough, and I haven't created anything for him. Just effing say it. But watch that smirk. Watch that smirk.
Signed Hunter, and given him a big deal, and he's been non-existent this year. I'm curious, for you guys, how vital is it for your offense to get Hunter involved?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he had a couple catches tonight, but I mean, it's important, and we got multiple guys that can do something with the football. So, we're trying to read the coverage out and then go to the right matchup as best we can. Sometimes that takes us inside. Sometimes it does not, so.
Again, he just said it. We're trying to read the matchup and get the ball to the right guy. Apparently, Davante Adams is the only right guy on every damn play. So that shows you're not creative and your play calling is BS. I mean, we got the wrong McDaniels as our coach. Miami got the right one. We got the wrong one.
Certainly he's a good player, and he's had a lot of production for us in the past, and we got to try to find a way to get all our guys honestly involved in the game.
Hey, Josh.
We got to find a way. Sorry, guys. We got to find a way. That is the way. I'm going to tell you the way. We're not living in a Star Wars universe. I am not Boba Fett. I am not the Mandalorian. I don't even have a mask over my face or a helmet. And I know the way. You said we got to find a way to get Hunter Renfro in the offense. Put him in the offense. It's simple. Simple. Put him in the offense. Put him in. We got to find a way to get Hunter Renfro in the offense. Put him in. Remember in the TV intro where they announced the starters on offense, we talked about it in the beginning of the show. During my notes, he wasn't even in the intro as part of the starting offense. We got to find a way to put him in. Put him in! It's simple. It's simple. Simple, simple, simple. Make a 3 wide receiver set instead of your crappy 2 wide receiver, 2 tight end set that ain't even working. That makes teams come up to the line of scrimmage because they know you're going to run it. You only got 2 wide receivers, so they're going to bring everybody toward the tight ends and the running back, and it ain't working. You got to spread the field. But in reference to your stupid question, we got to figure out a way to put Renfro in the offense. It's simple. The answer is put him in. Put him in. Put him in. Simple.
Production for us in the past, and we got to try to find a way to get all our guys, honestly, involved in the game.
Hey, Josh, as a coach of a team with a, quote, home field, how discouraging is it to just continue game after game to hear the building ring with cheers of the fans from the opposite team? And is the sound, the noise, even hurting the team in terms of sound?
Now they're talking about the fan base, and it's technically not a home game.
No, I mean, we have great fans, and, Pittsburgh travels well. So, we do what you got.
Again, I talked about it earlier in the show during my note segment. Pittsburgh travels well. Let's keep spinning it, giving excuses.
To deal with, so that is what it is. We've handled that before, and we need to handle it, again if it comes up.
Josh, when you're facing a big decision like that at the end of the game with the field goal, what's the
Here it comes.
process like? Is that ultimately your call? Are you consulting with a bunch of people? And then also, what's the process?
Are you consulting with a bunch of people? He's the head coach of the team. Is it your call, or are you consulting with a bunch of people whether to go for it on 4th down? Remember, you got 2 choices, according to you, McDaniels. Are you consulting with people? You shouldn't need to consult with anybody. You're the head coach. You make the decision, good or bad. There was only one decision there, as we spoke about. There wasn't 2 choices. Then he said, yeah, I was consulting with people. You didn't have enough time to consult with people. The clock was running out. You needed to score. You didn't consult with anybody, but I believe he says he does. Let's hear this BS.
Josh, when you're facing a big decision like that at the end of the game with the field goal, what's the process like? Is that ultimately your call? Are you consulting with a bunch of people? And then also, what's the process afterwards? Is it something you look at your in-game decision making and closer?
Of course. Ultimately, those are mine, and, we confer with some other people and discuss what,
Ultimately, they're mine, but we confer with other people. Huh? When do you confer with other people about going for it or kicking a field goal? When do you confer or have a discussion with other people about making your final decisions? Huh? When I take a shit, ultimately, it's my decision to take a shit. But, I do reflect on it, and I do talk to other people and consult about, whether I should take a shit or not. Even though my butt tells me to take a shit and I have to go, and if I don't go, it ain't going to be good. Ultimately, it's my decision. But I do confer with people, whether to take a shit or not. That's the only answer, but I do confer with people.
Closer.
Of course. Ultimately, those are mine, and, we confer with some other people and discuss what, the options are. Like I said, if we, it doesn't matter what the decision is.
So now he goes back to the excuses that he made earlier. It doesn't matter the decision. I had a chance to do that. We're still down by 2 points or 4 points or 8 points or a touchdown, kicking the field. Oh, God. Just say you were wrong. After all the proof is put in front of you, just say you're freaking wrong. Just say it. We can at least move on from that in a few days. But now he's saying, I confer with people. Ultimately, it's my decision, but I would confer with people. We could have scored. We were going to still be down by a touchdown, blah, blah, blah.
The options are, like I said, I mean, if we, it doesn't matter what the decision is if we don't execute well, and so if you choose to kick it there and you got to play defense, and I have confidence in our defense. They've been playing well, and you thought we.
So you don't have confidence in the offense to go for it on fourth down? You have more confidence in your defense at that moment in the game than you do your offense. You have more confidence in your defense that gives up 23 points a game on average and is technically one of the worst defenses yearly, whether they played an average game or not, or they looked better. You have more confidence in your defense to get a stop, to get another score. I'm glad they are questioning his leading and coaching abilities. And I'm glad a lot of you guys are finally seeing the light.
I have confidence in our defense. They've been playing well, and you thought we had an opportunity to get the ball back there with maybe a couple minutes to go and have a shot to go down there and win it with a touchdown. So that was the thought process.
Josh, then how close were you then actually to going for it?
Now they asked him again, and it continues, and he gets mad. He thought it was over. That was my thought process. Not that I made a mistake, but that was my thought process. I trusted the defense. Now he goes, because there's no letting up on him right now. Good for the reporters. Good for Paul Gutierrez. Good for Hondo.
Josh, then how close were you then actually to going for it rather than kicking it?
I don't know. I mean, like I said.
There it is, Raider Nation. I don't know how much closer. But earlier you said we had to do this. This is my thought process. Now you don't know. The truth shall set you free. I don't know. Most people by this point would have figured out the problems. I now believe he didn't tank last year. Wow, that is a good statement. Or he technically could be tanking, and he's one heck of an actor. I mean, I am. Wow, that's a good statement. Oh, God. All right, let's end this debacle here.
Josh, then how close were you then actually to going for it rather than kicking it?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, we kicked one earlier in that sequence, I believe, right? And then they had the leverage penalty, so we'd cut it to 5, well, maybe, I don't know, a minute and a half previous, and then
He doesn't even know the time. A minute and a half. I think we kicked the field goal earlier. You don't even know the game plan. It's ridiculous to me. When you lose, even in a bad fashion, everybody remembers every detail. Do you play poker? Everybody remembers their bad beats. Oh, I had the king of hearts and the queen came out on the flop, on the turn, on the river, and I lost. Can you believe it? There was only a 12% chance. I don't know. I think I kicked a field goal earlier, and we had a penalty, and I think there was like a minute 15 left, and
we kicked one earlier in that sequence, I believe, right? And then they had the leverage penalty, so we'd cut it to 5, well, maybe, I don't know, a minute and a half previous, and then had we're fortunate enough to get a penalty on that field goal, and then got down there. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, you can go either way with those, and I did have confidence that we were playing well defensively and had an opportunity to maybe get the ball back, and with 2 minutes to go and have an opportunity to go down there and take the lead.
Josh, that late touchdown drive that the Steelers had kind of seemed like on most of the plays,
so uncomfortable.
The receiver was pretty much wide open, including the touchdown itself.
You need to be comfortable, even after a loss. You need to show comfortability at a post-game press conference. You need to do it if you're the leader. Stop being uncomfortable. Make the uncomfortable comfortable. Make the uncomfortable comfortable. That's how you spin it in a true positive direction.
The receiver was pretty much wide open, including the touchdown itself. What did you see on those drives there that could possibly have led to that?
I'll have to look at the film. I think they had a couple, I'm going to call them scheme plays, I guess, that, they...
I don't know. I'm going to have to look at the film. I don't know how we lost. It wasn't my bad decisions. It wasn't the defense. I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and look at the plays. Did they call a couple of plays? I don't know. Wow. He doesn't have a handle on anything on this team. Nothing. He didn't have a handle on the Raiders' legacy when he came to the team. He didn't have a handle on the players' personalities when he came to this team, when he got rid of players. He doesn't have a handle on anything. Anything. It was not him that won those games. It was Tom.
Call them scheme plays, I guess, that, they kind of popped somebody free on one of those. I think, was that Freiermuth on the touchdown? But just it was some kind of a naked or something like that. So it was a good design on their part. Obviously we're going to have to cover it better than what we did, but I think that's what it was.
All right, here's where he smiles and laughs, and he thanks the reporters for giving him a grilling. He smiles and he laughs, and he thanks the reporters for giving him a grilling.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, you got it. Thank you.
All right, Raider Nation. Let's remove that one. Now, let's quickly watch the 1-minute press conference or the quote from Davante Adams. Is he asking for a trade? Is he precursoring what's going to happen in the future? I don't know. You be the judge, but here we go.
What do you say to your teammates after a game like that?
And you notice how he paused. This is something our head coach doesn't even do to get his words or his thoughts a little bit correct. Davante Adams wants to spin it, and he does spin it, but he doesn't spin it in a bad way. He tells the truth, but he tells it positively. He doesn't tell it negatively. He tells the truth, and in an indirect way, but he tells the truth. But he takes the time to think about it before he answers. But he tells the truth is the most important thing.
Davante, as a captain, what do you say to your teammates after a game like that?
I haven't said anything. Sometimes you need some time to process and figure out what exactly to say. So,
you need some time to process what exactly to say. That's what Josh McDaniels needs to do for 3 minutes, or take a class in training to do it before every press conference and every loss or whatever. Take some time to process.
We heard from Coach, and we had a few conversations. We heard from Coach, and we had a few conversations individually. But
we heard from the coach, And then we had a few conversations individually between him and the players.
It's tough because this is a really good team. We have a lot of potential. I would say that.
And then he said, we have a really good team. We have a lot of potential. I'll say that. That's not a compliment. It's not a compliment, and he knows it. It's not a compliment to say we have potential. That's what we say every year before the season starts. Oh, we got the best draft class ever, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. We got potential. Potential ain't going to win you games. It's heart and ability, not potential. And then it's not a positive the way he says it.
Good team. We have a lot of potential. I would say that. Not a good.
And then did you notice he looks away? I'll say that. Like, we got a lot of potential. I'll say that. Meaning we don't have a good team or a staff.
Potential. I would say that. Not a good team until you prove it.
You're not a good team until you prove it. There it is. There it is. We have a lot of potential. You're not a good team until you prove it. We are not a good team. Words out of the GOAT's mouth.
But the team has some potential. We got the players. We just got to figure out how to play together on both sides of the ball and stop putting ourselves in.
We have to figure out how to play together. Again, you're missing your heart, and you're also missing the love and the respect. So how can you play together when everybody's individualized under the McDaniels regime? You can't do it. You can't do it.
On both sides of the ball and stop putting ourselves in such tough to overcome positions,
Tough to overcome positions. Is he talking about the interceptions or the on-the-field game calling or decisions by McDaniels? It's probably both.
In such tough to overcome positions, and we had way too many of those today, and whether it's penalties or sacks or we didn't make the play outside, whatever it was, got to take care of the ball, and it's just that's not how you look at all these analytics and all these things. Teams that have won with the the turnover battle and all these things, and they don't mean shit until you go out there and you play ball. And we having a tough time consistently doing that right now, and I don't want to act like it's all crazy.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Right now, and I don't want to act like it's all crazy. It's week 3, but I don't got time to wait around, and it's not.
I don't got time to wait around. I'm not going to be like everybody and think that it's all over, but I don't have time to wait around. You've already got rid of my best friend. I'm 31 years of age. I don't got time for a rebuild. I don't got time for these type of decisions and these playmakers or your quarterbacks to play this bad and make these bad decisions. I don't have the damn time. I only got a year or 2 left, and he knows it.
I don't got time to wait around, and it's not a personal thing. I mean, it is a personal thing, but it ain't just about me. But I mean, it's not my mentality to sit here and try to take all season to figure it out. You use these early games like this to establish our identity.
There it is. He said, it's not like me to wait around and take all year or all of these games to somehow establish our identity. We should have had our identity last year before the season started. But again, he broke it all up. Now we got a new team. We should have had our identity in the preseason. We should have had it in week 1, week 2. But they keep testing. Oh, let me test the players here. Let me test this. Let me test that. Let me do this decision. They have no identity. And then he's speaking about it. Is the identity to run the ball? Well, if it is, get better at running the ball. That's it. Run the ball more than anything. Make that your identity. Is your identity to pass the ball? Well, then make that your identity. Or is he trying to make everything his identity? You got to start with one thing and do it well before you can establish an actual all-around identity. People say, oh, we look good in the pass game. No, we don't. No, we do not. You know who looks good in the pass game? That MFer right there. That's who looks good in the passing game. And Jacoby Myers as well. It ain't the offense. It ain't McDaniels. It ain't Garoppolo. It's him. And him only. For the most part.
We not going to figure it out. To sit here and try to personal thing. I mean, it is a personal thing, but it ain't just about me. But I mean, it's not my mentality to sit here and try to take all season to figure it out. You use these early games like this to establish our identity, and we're not doing things the right way to establish a winning culture early in the season. So we got to do something to turn that around.
We're not establishing a winning culture. We're not going to do it under McDumbutt. I'm sorry, Raider Nation. Sorry, man, that I feel so bad about all of this. I just do. Let me remove these from the studio. I want you guys to chime in. Give me your thoughts in this fan segment. Let me hear some questions from you guys. And then we're going to get out of here and watch Monday Night Football. All right, guys. Send me your comments, whatever you want to talk about right now. Appreciate the support, Randy and Frankie, for always supporting and hooking me up, helping me buy some tacos. I get like 60%, so that's a couple dollars. Appreciate it. Let's look at some of your comments. Oh, yeah, McDaniels is now 0-4 in prime time with the Raiders. Thank you very much for that. Also, on offense, after 3 games, we're averaging 15 points. Woo! We're also giving up 23 points a game. Woo! That sounds like a winning record. That sounds like a winning record. McDaniels needs a speech class. First lesson would be to watch the you-knows. Thank you very much. He always says they instead of we. That tells you everything about him. I heard him say we a lot, but you're probably right. I love your name, Pando Kalima, that bread. I love it. I love it. How you doing, brother? McProlapse. Tank for Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley next year. Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to discuss it. That sounds ridiculous to me. Ask me some fantasy football questions if you got it. Guys, starting Aiden O'Connell may save the season. Francisco, I love you, brother. What will save the season is if we go back in time and we stuck with Rich Bisaccia, or they didn't bow down to cancel culture and fire Gruden. Look, Aiden O'Connell looked as good as he did in the preseason. But when it comes to game play, he's not better than Garoppolo. He may be, but he's not. Not yet. Again, what's the point of getting Garoppolo and then making a 4th string our quarterback for the rest of the season? And how will that save our season? It will not. A lot of good things have to happen to save our season. But the first thing starts with leadership. Taking accountability, leadership, and admitting your mistakes and apologizing for your ego and your issues. Aiden O'Connell is an interesting prospect. I'm not giving up on the season. I'm not going to do that. I still don't think we win more than 7 games. But that's just me. Oh, I be grumpy today. Mikey, what's up, grumpy? Or Kill Jadis. All love and respect to you, brother. Sin City 7 stream coming up today. I don't know what that is. Is that a video game? Or is that one of your shows? I don't know. But thank you, brother. We love you. If the Dolphins scored 70 on the Donkeys, the Dolphins are going to score 80 on us. They might take it easy. What's up, Jose? It's been so sad to be a fan for a long time now. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. There is light. There is light. When you're a Raider, there's always light, right? But here's the truth, man. Everybody wants to be positive about McDaniels or positive about Garoppolo, and then they want to be negative about the quarterback that shall not be named. They want to be positive about Max Crosby, positive about Davante, positive about Dave Ziegler. Embrace the dark side. We're Raiders, right? Join the dark side. It's like Star Wars. Join the dark side. Be negative. That's what Raider fans are, for the most part. Again, we're a-holes, we're mean, we're tough. It's all about the team, the shield. We're negative. We'll fight. We'll fight if you don't agree with our opinion. That's the dark side. McDaniels and all these other people, they want to spin the positive. Embrace the damn dark side. Embrace it. Just embrace it. Yeah, I made a mistake. I should have went for it on 4th and goal, but I didn't. I effed up. But you know what? Next time we see them, I'm going to bust them in the mouth. And all the Raider fans or whatever that are calling me dumb, I'm a head coach in the NFL. I got here. I'm going to prove I ain't dumb. Whatever. Embrace the dark side. Embrace it. And that is probably one of the problems with the quarterback that shall not be named. He didn't want to go down that dark side because he's living his life through the light. But to be an actual Raider, you got to toe that line. You gotta embrace that dark side, man. Much more than it's worth. And people like Gruden and stuff like that, they do that. They embrace the dark side. They do that. Max Crosby embraces the dark side. Tattoos and everything. Davante Adams embraces the dark side. Speaks the truth, but embraces the dark side. Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't embrace the dark side. I'm afraid to do a press conference. Hey, it's a worth a shot, brother, than the noodle-armed Jimmy G. I understand, man. But again, it's just, we keep making changes to make changes, It's just, I don't know, man. I didn't use the word tank. Okay, you're right. McDaniels will never take responsibility. He is a weasel. I'm in 16-man fantasy football league. How about you? I'm in a bunch of leagues, man. I did a 16-team one year. That was so tough. That was so hard. There was no player. There was no players on waiver wires or nothing, man. It was tough. How do we lose to an offense that has no fantasy football starters in most leagues? Well, starters, you're right. Well, a lot of people still start Najee Harris, and that's not going good. And some people start George Pickens. It starts with McDaniels. The change starts here. Fire him. Salute Mikey Raider and the nation. What's up, all eyes on G? Love you all. True Raider. I'm a true Raider. You guys watch some of my classic videos where I did the Doctor Who parody? I'm a true Raider. Sorry, somebody's calling me or something. Hold on, guys. Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, who's calling?
Hi, this is Jean with your senior privileges. How are you doing today?
Senior privileges. Oh, my goodness. I was thinking it might have been my brother calling from rehab, so I had to take it. Forgive me. I can't see the dog in Jimmy G. He's so afraid of good pass protection. We're all couch general managers. Friends, as soon as AZ we tanking, Crosby is drinking again. He ain't the same. Really? Wow, that's a tough statement. Yeah, I ain't even gonna touch on that one, man. All right, guys, let me give you my summary. Let's get on out of here, man. Watch some Monday Night Football. We got 2 games going today. I'm in a couple of fantasy football leagues. Want to thank you guys for being a part of the show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Each and every one of you that donated, hit the like button, subscribed. Nobody became a member during the show. That's okay. It hurts my heart. I feel bad, but whatever. I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm going to try to give you guys more content in the coming days, but I struggle with some stuff, and I'll do my best. Please bear with me. But again, thank you guys for supporting, subscribing, and I love you. Whatever that means to you, I love you. But in summary, for this Raiders team, looking forward, if we could find any positivity from these 2 butt whoopings, is I just want you all to look at the truth of what we are and who we are being led by. Okay? Whether you want them fired or not, or this or that, it's okay. Speak your piece. But whenever somebody has a disagreeing opinion that later becomes factual or the truth, go back to them and apologize. They just had the forthright and the foresight to see it before you did. Not because you're a stupid person. You're blinded by some lights. You drink the poison Kool-Aid every once in a while. It's okay. But don't do that any longer. Don't be a sheep. This team is not being run correctly from the top down. Protect the shield. Protect the shield. There is no shield. The trick is there is no spoon. So you have to bend your mind to bend the spoon. There is no spoon. There is no shield to protect. We need to create one. It's okay to be mad when somebody has a differing opinion. It's okay. But come at it from a respect level and be like, I hope they're wrong. Because all of us that tell the truth, we don't want to be right. You guys might think we want to be proven right, but we don't. We don't. We just can't help but see the truth. If you've been in this game long enough, you start to learn it. And for some Raider podcasters or Raider fans like me, and maybe you, we've been in this game long enough and we've seen the train wreck 1,000 times. So we know when it's coming. I just hope for the days of when it leaves. Mark Davis is running this team to make $1, not to create a legacy upon what his dad built. That is not what Mark Davis is doing. Every decision Mark Davis does is public decisions, money decisions, business decisions, where he can make more money moving forward. He'll say he's doing it for the victories. He'll say he's doing it because he wants to win. But the truth is, he doesn't make the decisions for the victory. He says, can I make money? Is that person popular? Will they create a winning culture? Can they bring fans to the team? Can they make Las Vegas entertainment? And can they be exciting for a little while to sell tickets? Then he asked the question, can they win? When the first question is, can they win? Are they of a Raider legacy built? And are they going to embrace the dark side and the true fan base that is the Raiders? We going to get after you. We going to bring you pressure. We are not going to blindly follow. Raider Nation is divided every which way. But we're always united with the team's best interest at our hearts. So if you're going to coach this team, if you're going to be a general manager, even if you're going to be a quarterback or a player for this team, you better come right. You better embrace the Raiders' image. And you better become it and join the dark side. And you better understand criticism, critique, and hatred. Hatred should be fuel, not a light for you to hide under. I'm Mikey Raider, and we will never be the Raiders of old. And I don't know what the future holds for this team. But we are just a team on the field going through the motions. Our owner makes money with controversy. Headlines equal breadlines. Winning is secondary. And that scares the shit out of me. We are the best fan base in the world. We are also an evil fan base. And that's okay. I'm Mikey Raider. Let's get back to work. Find some positivity. And again, it's all about the wins. But sometimes you got to take a step back and be happy to be alive and get on a football field with an opportunity to bash some effing heads and create a culture. We play the Chargers next week in LA. That should be a home game. If this team has any pride and poise and no give up, this has to be the game that we not only win, but we dominate. We dominate from the beginning to the end. Thank you, Pandey Kolima. I appreciate you. We need to dominate. Again, I don't care if we win by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 or more. We need to dominate the entire game with strength. We need to own everything. We cannot lay another egg. We need to rally. We need to puke and rally. Most people had the Raiders 2-2 at this point. I'd have to go back and look at my prediction show. I think I had the Raiders at this point, or with the Charger game, I think I had the Raiders 1-3. But a lot of experts and people like that had the Raiders at 2-2. They thought we'd win the Steeler game. We still can win the Charger game. It's always a good game versus those teams. And I hope we have a good game. But I want to see the better decision making. I want to see accountability. I want to see the heart from all these players. And I want them to go into the locker room after the game on their hands and knees because they gave it all they got. I want to see some game planning. Create a couple of new plays, Josh McDaniels. Do it. Change it. What you're doing ain't working. Change it. Don't just keep doing the same old. Don't. If you make a change, McDaniels, with your ego, take accountability, your narcissism, you can do it right now. You can build a culture from right now is your opportunity to get us back. What are you going to do with that opportunity, McDaniels? And the same thing goes for the players, each and every player. What are you going to do with this opportunity? Are you going to fold under bad leadership, or are you going to rally under bad leadership? And can you rally from bad leadership? We're going to find out. I love you all. So for Pandey Kalima, Frankie Mesquada, True Raider, Zach Chavayette, IP Painless, All Eyes on G, Rebel, Raiders in the room, Busby Bush, Honestly Honest, Samuel Martinez, Westside Media, everybody online today. Thank you for sticking with me for 3 hours. I love you. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. Go Raiders. And if I give you an early prediction of this week's game, my negative side would say we lose in another heartbreaker. But if I had to pick from my positive side, not that we just win, we have to win by 14 points or more. We need to dominate. We're going to see what the Raiders got. I can easily say I don't think we got it, or I know we don't got it. I'm not going to do that this week. I'm going to do like that coach said when their quarterback got injured and they had to bring in Kurt Warner. We're going to rally around Josh McDaniels and play good football. That's what they need to be saying in the locker room. We're going to rally around Josh McDaniels and play good football. We are the Raiders, so for the most part, we always know what happens. Hey, NorCal Raiders, what's up, dude? I'm so humble. I'm so humble and grateful. Thank you very much for the $3 at $3.50. I appreciate you. I love you. Oh, it's $5, Mikey. Yeah, I get 60%. Taxes. Thank you, Michael NorCal Raider. You are an amazing fan. I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck in your fantasy football teams. And yeah, man, hit that like, that subscribe button. Let me know if you want me to go live again in the future. I appreciate you. I love you. God bless. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. And yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for being a part of today's show. I'm out.